Hi guys, David in Texas here, and since I had this out, I wanted to show you something new for these little Texans. That knobs, I think those are pretty cool. I think I'm going to use those on these guitars, at least these prototypes I'm going to, and silver on the other. Or maybe I'll go back to the standard, tradition, I don't know. See how they look. Okay, now this video is not about the knobs, okay? This video, you carefully put this back so I don't scratch it up. This video is an answer to a cry for help from a guy in Ohio. Alrighty. Sure enough, he bought a fake guitar for his son of 10 years old. And the kid knows it's a fake. The dad knows it's a fake. The circumstance is that he promised his kid that over the holiday they'd work on it together and modify it, turn it into one like mine. They watch my channel, okay? Now the problem is, the first problem is this guy has basically no tools, right? And he said his woodworking experience is that he can sharpen a pencil. His words, not mine. Sharpen a pencil, that's his limited experience. Perfect. Well, he's got a little more experience than that. He's already screwed up one hole on his guitar. He's cracked it, he's shattered it, and he's split the faceplate, the black part in front. Okay? Doing this thing wrong. Right? Now, the guitar they have has those butt-ass, ugly, vomit green tuners on there. The tuxedo types for Les Pauls and Gibsons. Which I don't blame him. He's putting on real ones. This is a fake I had laying around. But it's just like this. I'm sorry, Grovers. These are Grovers. Okay? Sorry guys, I had to switch batteries. Plug this thing in. Anyway, he's got real Grovers, right? Look just like this. Now, amongst the first mistakes he's made is that, being an attorney, you should have sent it to me. I would have done this, modded it up really fine, and no problemos, no cracks, no mistakes to fix. Okay, but again, it's him and his kid project. I can totally understand that. The thing is, he wants to do it with his son. So I'm going to try to step him through this best I can, and I'm going to talk to this camera like I'm talking to a 5-year-old. So there's not any mistakes to be made, and I make sure I don't make any myself, okay? I've done it so many times, it's like, ugh, don't want to forget saying that. So here we go, okay? First things first, you got to measure everything 2 or 3 times to make sure you got the right measurements. So you're going to measure the length and the width of that Grover tuner, right? And by width, I'm talking about the shoulder. This thing here, the thickest part, because the thinnest part is going to fit through that hole like it wasn't there. That's already been cut. What you got to cut is this part here, right? And we're going to measure it, all right, with a caliper. Since trying to use a scale on a rounded part, we all know how stupid that is to try to do that. Okay, what we got here? We got 25/64. Right, can you see that? 25/64 on its width, right, and on its depth or height, either one. You got 11/32, right, 22/64. This is saying 64s, okay? So you got that to work with, and that's all the deeper you have to go on the cut to get this to sit flush. This part here, this bottom side, to sit flush. You got me? One thing that's going to stick out of the guitar is this shaft here. Okay, is that clear? Right? So now, I told him over, hey, get a drill press, they're only a couple $100. No. Whatever it may be, he doesn't want you to buy a drill press, have to return it, I guess. So anyhow, I told him, well, if you're going to do this by hand, first things you got to do is steady that guitar. I asked him, how'd you cut the last one? He put it in his lap and tried to hold on to it while his son tried to keep it from moving around and holding it too. So you have hands as vices. And of course, a drill that you're trying to hole and cut. It's like, that's just, you know, crazy. You're lucky you didn't cut a hole in your leg. All right. He said the whole thing went all the way through. Okay, he's got the right width bit. Okay. So here we go. Now, first things first. Look at this. This guitar is at an angle. The head stock's at 14, 16 degree angle downwards or upwards, however it's laying. Okay. What you've got to do on your drill press or somewhere is get that thing flat. So you're drilling straight up and down, right? Not at an angle trying to copy that, you know, it's hard to copy angle. You got me? You know, that's insane. So pad this thing up with comforters, whatever you have to do. Make sure you don't get scratched up. If you don't have a block tool to hold it in positions, right? Do different types of things on it. They make tools that do that. So anyway, you got it in your little homemade, you know, working tool, right? And you got it flat, okay? And to hold this thing, you don't want to, you know, hold this by hand. Again, that's one of those stupid things that, you know, you think, oh, I can hold it with one hand and drill with the other. Well, that's basically insane, okay? You know, you don't want to do that, because what you really want to do is go out and get you a set of wood vices, right? Working vices, shop vices, with nice, great big pads on, which I had one here earlier. Looks like it may have walked off somewhere. I set it somewhere. I was moving things around a bit. And if you don't have the pads there still, you pad these parts up. So when you're holding it in place against something, it's nice and firm in position. It doesn't have to have a crush weight on it. Just to hold it in place so it doesn't, you know, wobble around or move back and forth, okay, while you're drilling. Right? Now, let's get down to the bit. Okay, you got the right size bit to cut that 64th hole. Okay? And here it is. It's just 1/64 thicker than the hole has to be, which is fine. Alright? It'll still fit smoothly. What you're going to do is cut what we call a countersink hole. So you have a deep hole that's thinner than the top hole that's thicker. Okay? So it kind of telescopes down. And to get that right measurement, instead of eyeballing it, right, is to take some duct tape, measure on the cutting edge, and the tip of this, guys, is not the cutting edge. The tip is where that spline right there, that tip right there, actually touches into the wood. You can actually push down some wood, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where it first cuts into the wood, right, the highest point. So you measure the highest point down to whatever 64ths, you take your duct tape and you build up a nice thick jacket around that measurement, okay? Now, as you're drilling this thing straight up and down, being careful, what I strongly suggest is that you cut a little bit, either turn it off and pull it back out again carefully, okay, you know, straight up and down, or put it in reverse very carefully and gently back it back out slowly. Blow out the dust that's in it now. If it's not falling out the front hole, blow that out and do it one more time until you get down to the right depth. Always checking to make sure your jacket didn't slip, okay? Or you're not pushing against it. Now the first cut into that wood is going to be a little more difficult than the rest of the work to be done. And like I said, this is an exaggeration so you can see this big thing, right? Easily on this video. But as you're pushing on it, just let the weight of that drill bit kind of push down on it, I guess, is the best way to do it. For me, I'm just taking that handle on the press and just gently pushing down on it, right? For that drill bit to come down and then come back up by itself, right? And it's not going to hurt you to, you know, drill this thing 2 or 3 times to get that hole down there to the right depth, okay? Now, say it's like, oh, I think that's deep enough. And you've not moved your duct tape jacket at all. I want to measure that. Well, take your caliper back out again, and on this side is a depth gauge. It'll show you how deep you've gone. Okay, that's like 1/2 inch deep. Here's the edge of the top of the guitar, right? This is the hole, right? That measures depth. Very simple to do. Okay, you've got the right tools to do it with, right? Now you need, obviously, some type of measuring device. I strongly suggest against using a simple scale because it doesn't measure around parts very well. But if yours is exactly like this, I've already given you the measurements for this, what you're looking to do, okay? And to measure this, you could use a scale, right? The depth of this, how many 64ths that is, down, right? Not that hard to do. And if you do the first one, right, I always take the drill back out, take a look at your jacket again, measure it one more time, make sure there's not any places you pushed down and pushed it backwards, right? And measure it one more time. Each time that you take that drill out and go to the next hole, make sure it's not slipping or not moving, okay, being squished down. Does that make sense? Like I said, the weight of the drill, right, and especially that hand drill, should be enough to cut into that hole. If not, just give it so easy, little gentle pressure. You got me? Now, before you do the drilling into the wood, you want to take something like this and score it. If you have something like this, great. If you don't, look around for a big flathead screwdriver that you kind of round out the hole a bit, right? Get that kind of wood bent downward and started a bit. Be so careful doing that. This is what I use because it's meant to do that. And that sharp edges, and they're kind of pre-cut that hole a little bit, okay? Get that drill in there proper, right? Get a little starting hole. You got me? And once you got all that done and you're drilling, right, always keep an eye on movement, right? Make sure it's not moving up and down, that your brace is not making it, you know, conform to an angle that you're pressing on, that you got something flat. Always have something flat underneath the head itself, like a piece of block wood. You know, once it's nice and flat on the table, okay, make sure that stays block wood, right, soft block wood. You got pads underneath there, right? So it doesn't move a little like that and change the angle. Okay? That can potentially happen. But if you're using a nice vise, right, nice pads on it, that's not going to happen. Okay? Well, at least it shouldn't happen. Like I said, you don't need to put tons of pressure on this, just nice gentle pressure to hold it in place so it doesn't slip around, move around. Nice big thick foamy pads. You know, so you don't put a big indention into it. Alrighty. Now, I'm not going to show you how to take super glue and color it just yet, okay? What we'll be doing later to fix that crack that you've got is super glue and some ground up aluminum or glitter, real finely done, so it gives that luster and shine to it, and a little bit of shot of spray lacquer. And that chattered hole, let's do the next 5 guy, and let me know, show me the pictures of what you've done on the next 5, and we'll go from there, and I'll personally try to step you through fixing that screw up that you got, okay? Anyway, next time, take into consideration, guys out there that are doing this, the cost of the tools. Those come into play too, and you got to really have the right tools. You need a measuring tool, a good one, right? A nice scale, okay? The right kind of bits, woodworking bits, you know, and metal too is fine. You need a tool like this to help widen those little holes out. Old tool, they still sell them. You need a drill press. Like I said, they're about a couple $100 is the most expensive tool that you may be getting, you know. But measure. Measure the widths, and every time you drill a hole, measure around that hole what the width of that wood is. It may change, you just don't know. Okay? So, any questions, give me a holler. But remember, it's only this part here that's got to go through the wood, not this shoulder. Okay? Any questions, Dave in Texas. Have a good one. Bye.